I think we are actually live, so let me just double check that. Sorry about the false alarm. I accidentally forgot to set it to a screencast, so whoops. Okay. Before I do anything, actually, I know I should do these things before I start, but sometimes my brain is just incomprehensible. I'm going to charge my pen. Shouldn't take that long, though. It's still green light, so I'm just going to give it a full charge. And I will be right back, guys. I'm going to get some coffee. I need more coffee. BRB. My God. Not bad. Sounds like a weird way of saying babe. Bad. Alright. Whoa. Alright. Sorry about that, guys. But I need my coffee if I'm going to get through this. So I'm just gonna let my uh thing charge for just a second. It won't take that long. It was already in the green. It was already green light, but I like to have a fully charged pen. So I'm assuming it'll probably only take a couple more minutes before it's done. But that gives me time to talk and all that stuff. So yeah, we're going to basically be doing exactly what we've been doing, and we're gonna go over this with the trace, and we're just basically going to make it look nice and pretty. So yeah, long story short. But hopefully y'all are having a great morning and with your families, with your pets, and if you're in a foreign country, somewhere else, good afternoon or good evening. But yeah, we're going to basically just go over this because this is the rough version. So we're going to go over this with our pen, make it look nice and pretty with line art, as pretty as we can get it. Then add the text afterwards and blah, 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 blah. Yep. So just got to wait for my pen to charge, which shouldn't take that long. Like I said, it was already on the green light, so that means that it was pretty high. It was pretty high in power, but I like to have a fully charged pen when I start. That way, I know it's not gonna just die on me. So, we're gonna get started here in just a sec, but it does give me time to talk a little bit. And again, if you are a supporter of this project, then please go to my channel post because there is a post that regards the project, as in the like update posts. So go under my post tab, and on that you will see a poll that basically says, do you want this in black and white manga style or do you want this fully colored? I need to know my viewers like thoughts. I need to know. And it's not that, whatever wins that's going to be the style. No, I just need a good idea of what you guys like so that I can determine my own. Hello 405 Black Ice 8. Finally, a regular name. Am I making my own anime? Well, I guess you can say that, in a way. It's more of a manga, if you want to put it that way. But yeah, this is... Basically, that's what it is, if you want to think about it that way. I would I call it? I mean, I know, yeah, in this case, it would be an anime, but just written form, which is basically manga. But yeah, we'll be starting here in just a second. I just gotta wait for my pen to charge, which won't take very long. Oh, shit. Sorry, had to stretch. But we're in the second process, which is the revising stage. And we are going to, we basically have done the like rough, like storyboard kind of version. And now we're going through page by page by page, cleaning it up, making the final sketch. And then we'll add like the shading and whatever coloring later if we end up going like the black and white route. But yeah, I need to know your guys' input. I need to know your personal thoughts. I need to know your opinions. So please go to that post on my channel and give me your personal thought and your vote. God, that sounds political when you think about it. But no, not political. Basically, I just need to know, do you guys want this fully colored, which would take longer but would look, more vibrant? Or would you like it in black and white, more like a manga, like if you were to just buy a manga and be in black and white with light shading? That's basically all I'm asking. So yeah, this is page, I think we're on page 18, something along those lines. So we're on page 18 of 22 because the original draft only had 22 pages. But we're getting there slowly but surely. We're taking it easy, one a day, one page a day, and just very carefully, very slowly, so I don't lose my mind, and the so that the project looks nice. Color. Well, that all depends on how the poll plays out. Because personally, one will be easier than the other. Color would take way more longer. It would probably take about, if I take my guess, if we're doing like one page a day, or trying to anyway, it would probably take somewhere in the neighborhood of about a month, probably, with 22 pages. But yeah, we will see. I'm giving the post basically about a week to determine it because I plan to have this first episode out in I plan to have it out in about February. That's my goal. Possibly around Valentine's Day, which would kind of fit in a way. You have finished black and white ones? Yes. I did grayscale for Inktober. Bro, if it plays in the storyline, can you make a water part and call it black ice? I already have the story all figured out. And I don't really know what that means. But yeah, I've already got the story all planned out. I know what's going to happen, even though my brain tends to be like, in the process of writing it, basically it's going to be like, oh, hey, dude, let's try this idea because we can kind of branch off here. That's how my brain works. And sometimes it comes up with good ideas and sometimes it comes up with bad ideas. But I've really developed as a writer and creator as well, so it'll be interesting for sure. But yeah, my god pen today. Are we gonna get charged here any second now? Sorry, I should have done this last night. But my aim is February. I'm hoping to get this episode out by February because we're not even close to done yet. This is just the baseline stuff. This is basically the visual. Then we've got to actually get like, the voice lines recorded. We've got to get the editing done, the sound effects and all that stuff for like the panels and shit.
Did you see Rupert?
Oh shit. Nope, sorry.
Of course you didn't.
Hang on guys, I'll be right back. Anyways, now my pen's charged. Really? Come here. Okay, anyways. Well, Big Snake, if you're still here, this is Ibis Paint. And it's the free version. You can literally get it from the App Store for free. Okay. I think we just get started. So let's see. Panel 1. Put that there. Okay. Alright, so if I had to take a wild guess how long this will take. There's not too much detail, but there's still a lot of detail. That last one will definitely take the longest. For sure. That's definitely the bigger one. The third one fourth, technically. Fourth one might take long too. The first three are fine. They won't take that long. Probably the last ones are probably going to take the longest. So if I had to take a... excuse me. If I had to take a wild guess, I would say around an hour and a half. From now. So let's see, we're 18 minutes in. So about an hour and 45 minutes is probably how long it'll be. Yes, let's just get started. Just double check I'm doing this correct. Yep, I'm doing it correct. So basically what we're doing is we're going over this with new lines and just kind of creating a cleaner version so it looks nice and clean in the final product. Fixing some issues along the way, which I don't really see any huge issues that are like noticeable. So I don't think we're going to really change anything here, except maybe the text from the original is probably going to be changed up a little bit. And that's happened with a lot of pages, is that we've been having to change the text up a little bit, because when you have the text, like the text that you get from the program itself, the size is changed, and you have only so much space, so you have to kind of alter around a little bit to make it work. Sorry for that little conniption earlier, guys. I don't know. I should also reiterate, I am not a professional. I am a complete newbie. I've only been doing art for about a year. So, yeah, total noob. So I'm learning as I go as well. But it's definitely been a fun experience doing this. You know, it's also been kind of stressful. Well, not stressful, but hard, I should say. But yep, this process is all just about taking it nice and slow, going over every line with ease, and just figuring out how to fix it up to be the best it can possibly be in the final product. In terms of like making like a fanfic reading, this would basically be cleaning up the mistakes. The rough draft would be basically the recording stage in the terms of a fanfic reading scenario. And this would be like removing the mistakes and cleaning it up to be pretty. No matter what, it's going to always be a big, big project. It's always going to be a big, big, big process. And if you don't have a process to something like a project, then you're in trouble. Because you want to have a plan in mind. There you go. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of just supposed to be a floating head, so it's not really supposed to be a like accurate to like detail for detail kind of thing. So as long as it just looks like a head, that's all that matters. Like I've said before, I'm not really trying to be perfect. I'm just trying to get a point. Like if the image gets the point across, then that's all that matters. If it gets the point across, it basically sells exactly what it's supposed to. You know, when I was working on the other project last night, the one that's not safe for YouTube, holy crap, I was struggling so freaking hard with drawing something as simple as a body, which that happens. There's just days where your brain doesn't want to function, and it's like, I don't want to draw this right now, bro. I basically said, well, too bad, you are. And eventually I did get it, it just took forever. Plus, I have also that thing, like, I don't know how many artists have it, but it's like a, if you can't see what you're drawing fully, then your brain just shuts off. Like, if you can't see fully what you're supposed to be drawing, it's basically your brain turns off and you can't draw it without seeing the full thing. That's a problem that I have, and I've tried to combat it, but every time it just, I have to draw the full thing. So usually with comic pages, what I have to do is I have to draw the whole picture first, then cut it down. But I'm trying my best to combat that so I don't have to do that and put that much time and, you know, work on myself. Whoops. Yep, just like that. Okay, that'll do her. Alright, now just gotta finish off the head. Then we do the facial features, and I think she's pretty much done. Well, this panel anyway is done. Alright. Just hope I can repeat the effect that I'm going for. Which I should be able to, but... sometimes when you do liner, it just doesn't come out how you want it to. Then, yeah, it happens. Just gotta listen for the garbage man, because today is garbage day. So, just gotta listen to bring the garbage can in. Okay, last the mouth, which is important to get correct. Which I think this is just kind of in the shape of a bean. Oh, this is going to be tricky, because she's got fangs. Excuse me. It's probably going to have to be something like that. Yeah, I think that gets the point across enough. I do need to put an indent for the fang, though. There we go. There's a fang indent. Alright, so panel 1's done. Now we need to go into panel 2. You're planning to make a comic, you gotta definitely have the organization down, otherwise it's gonna be a mess. Especially if it's like a scene with multiple people. Yeah, then you definitely need one. Okay, now the floating head. It just depends on how my hand wants to behave. Sometimes it likes to behave, sometimes there's days where it's very shaky. So far, right now, my hand has been pretty... I'm not even going to say it. I'm not even going to say it. I'm not even going to say it. Because then it'll start being a bitch. It never fails. But in ways, making a comic is very similar to how you make a fanfic reading, but at the same time, it's also not. Because it's visual storytelling. Something that I've really never done in my life. I've always done like written storytelling because I'm basically a writer. But Yeah, it's basically just writing a story, but in visual form. It's definitely a lot more tricky. But anything new is going to take time to learn. That is just a fact. And by doing a comic that is like fully colored and also like doing this at the same time, it's taught me a lot. Like it's taught me how like the amount of work that goes into a fully colored comic, like how much it would take in terms of time in comparison to like if I were to just do like a black and white like manga style. And it's not impossible, but it's definitely a lot more work. I can tell you that. I can tell you that right now, especially if you're the only person who's like really doing the majority of the work. What's going on here? Yeah, it's okay. Okay, what am I looking at? Okay, that's a strand that goes down. Okay, here's the bangs. Let's try to get them more on point. Like I said before, the hardest part about this entire like creation process has been the character designs. Getting the characters to not have same face syndrome has been definitely the hardest part. I have to basically give them some key details that don't like match others. Things like eyelashes, hairstyles, like certain details because these characters are half human, half monster. This character is just she looks human, but she's not actually just fully human. She's the main character. Well, one of the main characters is what I should say. This is a character with multiple MCs. But yeah, avoiding same face syndrome has been very difficult. And one of my friends, a trusted artist of mine from RTBA, she even said that you get same face syndrome no matter what. Like, it's a very common thing to happen, especially when it comes to art, especially with anime. And I can't tell you how many animes I've seen where the characters look exactly like another character from another anime. And I'm like, how can you tell the difference? Here's the fact the answer to that is you can't. Because they look exactly the same. But that doesn't mean it's plagiarism. There's a total, like, I think people get that, like, really misconcept. Like, that is a complete misconception. There's a difference between plagiarism and, like, the character looking the same. As long as they don't look the same, like, detail for detail, like, straight up copy paste, then it's not plagiarism. If the characters have some differences, then it's not plagiarism. That's what we call being inspired. That's a difference. It's a totally different kind of thing. That's not stealing, that's just taking inspiration and giving it your own twist. Like, I get this struggle with female characters all the time. Like, I always ask myself, I'm like, how can I make this character look different from, like, just a regular anime girl? Like I ask myself that question all the time whenever I'm drawing like a female anime girl, and it's hard. It legitimately is difficult to come up with like different designs, and that's why a lot of people usually go to inspiration rather than coming up with their own unique design. Now I won't lie, there is some unique designs that I've seen as of late, like what's her goddamn name? Marin from Dress Up Darling. She's different. Uh there's like there's a lot. I just can't think of them all right off the top of my head. Then there's others who just take inspiration from those areas, like again, inspiration, key word. Not directly copying, just taking inspiration and adding their own little flair to it. Complete and utter difference, and a lot of people misconceive that. Whoa. Okay, we don't want her teeth black. I believe it was like that. Yep, okay, perfect. Look, I've definitely taken inspiration from sources for some characters of mine. Like, Layla is literally based off of a character that I saw, like, on Google Images. I saw this character and I was like, ooh, that's a really cool, like, design. But I didn't make it direct copy. I added my own little fling to it. I gave her green hair. I gave her a fun little personality. And of course made her look more modern. Because this character looked like she was like from the like the like the 14th century. Taking stuff from other sources and just adding your own flair to them, there's nothing wrong with that. Otherwise, if that was a rule in anime, there would only be like, at max, maybe 100 animes in the world. Because they all copy each other. Same thing with like zombie games. Like, horror games are very, very, very guilty of what I'm talking about. Resident Evil probably copied from like House of the Dead. Before that, there was probably other horror games that were very similar. They copy from one another, but they don't directly, copy paste, if you get what I mean. Panel. People misconceive that so much. That almost worked. Music is another perfect example of like that whole scenario. How much music have you heard that sounds similar to another artist? God, nowadays it's literally just copy paste the thing that's trending and call it your own, when it's literally just the same shit that someone has just used. Like like I'm a guitarist, so I know this. That's another thing. Like as a guitarist, like I'll try to come up with like my own like my own riffs, my own melodies, and I'll realize, huh, this sounds like that one person that I listen to. And again, that's taking inspiration. It's not directly copying. If you had to come up with your own, if everyone had to come up with their own unique things, there would be a lot less content in the world. There would. There would be so much less content in the world. If that was a rule and you could not pull it from a source or like take inspiration from something without going to jail or something like that, yeah, you bet your ass there wouldn't be as many zombie games, as many horror movies. There not as much music artists. In my opinion, as long as it's not direct copy paste and it sounds good, I have no problem with it. It's like the whole Genshin and Breath of the Wild thing. Like, yeah, sure, it looks similar, but it is not a direct like copy paste. It's inspired from Breath of the Wild. Not to mention every anime like fantasy game that ever existed. Okay, that's gonna be tricky. Oh, that's gonna be very tricky. I'm probably gonna have to go like this. Either I'm just gonna have to hand. I'm just gonna do that by hand. It's probably gonna have to be the latter because I can't get that without the thing looking like it's just black space. If anybody's wondering what software I'm using, I'm basically using a Samsung tablet that you can get from your like phone provider for pretty decent price. I don't remember how much this one actually cost me. I think I got it on a deal from T-Mobile. I don't remember how much it actually cost me. I'm currently like paying it in like, monthly like amounts. It wasn't cheap, I know that for a fact. But it suffices very well enough to do exactly what I want to do. And it does great. The beast of the entire operation is honestly Ibis Paint. The thing that allows me to draw. Okay, next panel. Like I said in a previous stream, if you are looking for an easy art program to get started and you're interested in drawing, this is the best one. Ibis Paint is a perfect like gateway. Whoops. Is a perfect gateway for artists. It is. It's free. It has hundreds of free brushes if you just watch an ad for like 30 seconds. And it teaches you things. It has everything you need for like coloring, shading. Like if you're a painting person, you can like do a painting style, you can do, sketches, you can do the whole nine yards. And yes, they are very, very aware that manga is very popular and you can make mangas in this. Mangas, comics. There's literally a thing in it that allows you to just make a manuscript for manga. And personally, I don't know how to use it, but yeah, this is a great, great program for any beginner artist that wants to get started. I remember I found it, it looked flashy, so I went with it. I have tried others like Clip Studio Paint, which is probably the second most popular alternative, and I hated it. I didn't like it at all. I don't know where anything is. Like Ibis Paint, the layout is perfect. My Here's my layers. Here's all my tools on the side. Here's my brushes. Whoops. And yeah, that's all I need. I can resize my brush at the bottom of the screen. I can lower the opacity of the brush at the bottom of the screen. And if you want to save, that's just this back arrow, and there's save image. Perfect. Simple, easy to use, not hard at all. And I prefer simplified use or simplified instructions over complicated layouts, which is what Clip Studio Paint has for me. I tried it for like 10 minutes. I couldn't find my layers. I couldn't find a way to import like a photo so I could start, drawing a little bit. Like, yeah, it just wasn't good. In my opinion, it's very cluttery. It's very like not friendly to like an artist who's just getting started. Ibis Paint feels perfect for any beginner artist. Like if you want to make small drawings and just like, you know, dink around, perfect. If you want to make comics, it's perfect. And the developers know what's, popular. So, yeah, you can make mangas, you can make comics, you can just draw. Your options are very, very high. Or your like what you can do in this program is just crazy. And yeah, I'll take it over Clip Studio Paint any day. And I don't use any other like programs to make anything. Everything that I post is from this program. Everything I post on my DeviantArt, everything I post on my Twitter, it's all from this program. Like I'm a complete noob, so I really don't know what an artist actually wants, like a professional, someone who has been around the block a lot more than me. Like I don't know what tools they specifically want. I know some love the liquify tool because you can like manipulate lines to kind of curve them more or something like that. They're too wide. But like you can reshape things. Personally, I really don't care about that because I kind of want my art to look imperfect so that people can't, yell at me for using AI. Or saying that my art is AI. It's not AI. You're seeing right now. There's a lot of imperfections. There's a lot of like areas where you can see I had to go back over it. See, there's a misconnection right there. The only thing I ever used AI for in artwork was when I was learning. And I would just basically trace outlines, just the outlines, just the outlines. Not like the eyes, not the hair. That was all me. But to learn like poses, how the body's shaped, how joints are like, shaped and shit like that. It was straight up like I would just go and get an image and trace over it to get a good feel for it. I'd use it as a tool, not as something that just defines the image itself. Like pixel for pixel and all that stuff. And that allowed me to get to this point where I'm just basically drawing myself now. No use of anything besides probably a reference if I can't draw something correctly. Or if there's a pose that I am not familiar with at all and it's a new pose to me, then yeah, you bet your ass I'm looking up a reference. Okay, whoa, what am I seeing here? Considering her arms are kind of lazy right now, her shoulder would be down. The connection point. Okay. But yeah, if you're an artist that wants to just get started, Ibis Paint is perfect for you. Like, I cannot stress enough. You can literally just download this on your phone, and if you're bored and want to just draw, you can draw with your finger, you can draw with a stylus, you can, yeah, it's basically perfect if you want to get started. It could even count. I really do think it could be a permanent thing. Like, you could stick with it and you'd be fine. Because I don't see anything wrong about using a program that's easy and you're comfortable with as your permanent if you enjoy it. Like, if you just want a simplified program, then yeah, keep using it. If it works and it looks good, yeah, keep using it. You don't need Medi Bang or whatever the hell it's called. Medi Bang Paint, I think is what it's called. That's what all of my friends use, but that's on PC. I'm on a tablet. And I think it works just fine. It's like my microphone that I use for recording. The microphone that I use to record is the AT2020, Audio Technica 2020. This is a beast of a microphone. I've had it for, oh, jeez. I think it's 5 years now. And that mic has not given me any issues. Not one issue. It's tough. It still works like a champ. And it sounds great. So why would I upgrade to a $500 microphone that I don't need when I could just be using that? Just a saying. The simple answer is you don't. That's the simple answer. If you're a mic geek and want to, like, expand your horizons or whatever, I mean, that's you. If you want to go, like, with a more expensive microphone, that's you. But don't judge me if I use a $100 microphone that sounds great. Because that's how much the Audio Technica 2020 is. It's $100 for the mic alone. The whole package that I got mine with, it cost me around $180. And the reason why is because I had to get the audio interface with it. I had to get the mic stand. And there was a package deal going on at the time on Amazon. And it looked like a solid deal to me. You get a decent, whatchamacallit, audio interface. For 60, the mic stand was, it was the cheapest. It was like $10. And you also get the pop filter with it as well. So yeah, excuse me, mic stand was 20, pop filter was 10. But all in all, that's a lot for the price it was. It was $180. And yeah, I still have the same cord. Oh yeah, and the cord as well. The mic cord as well. Because keep in mind, I hadn't even been using an XLR until this point. So yeah, it was scary to change mics, but well, before that I had only been using the blue Snowball Ice, and it worked, but the noise floor on it was just detrimental, especially when you live in a very, very noisy environment. But yeah, if you want to try something that's just, or if you want to make something that's nice and easy to use for you, your permanent thing that you always use, there's nothing wrong with it. Long story short, you don't need snazzy, the most expensive and fancy equipment to make something amazing. Like I've seen videos of people like using $50 mics to make audiobooks, and it sounds great. It sounds good. It looks good. Like there is a lot of options when it comes to that kind of stuff. Eventually, I will have to upgrade from my tablet, but as long as it works, that's all I care about. As long as it just keeps working, that's all I give a shit about. The only thing I don't like about IBIS, and this is just a personal thing, is that if you switch devices and you go to IBIS on another device, unless you have an account with storage, like a good amount of storage, which you have to pay for basically, then you are going to lose everything. And that's why you should have an alternate place to put it so that you don't lose it. Like anything that you care about, you have to put somewhere else. Whether it be like something like a Dropbox, a Google Drive, DeviantArt, somewhere like that, you need an alternative place to put it because otherwise you will lose it. The only problem with that is that you can't go back and like, edit it or anything like that, but here's how I look at it. If you can draw it once, you can do it again. So if I ever like come across something that doesn't look right and I have to draw it again, I'll be like, you drew it once, you can do it again. So just calm down and, you know, deal with it. Because that is the truth. If you can draw it once, you can do it again. It's annoying. Yes, it's very annoying. But that's the thing. It's just annoying because you worked like hours on it. But yeah, if something's not right, it's best to fix it. And if you can draw it once, you can definitely do it again. That's just a fact. And who knows? Maybe you can draw it better. I can't tell you how many times that's happened to me. Where I'll like draw something the previous night, get up the next morning and be like, crap, that's wrong. Like I woke up this morning and one of the ones that I drew yesterday for the other comic, the hand was in a position. And the problem was I had the wrist connection area backwards. It needed to be turned around. And that's because the angle is very, very tricky for my like brain. I've never drawn this angle before, so yeah, learning it and trying to figure out how the hand actually works in that position, it was very tricky. So I basically had to reposition where the wrist connects to the hand, and it didn't take that long. It was like a 5-minute fix. But it does happen, and it happens to me a lot. Everything will look fine the previous night, then I'll wake up the next morning and I'll be like, oh, crud. That was what was wrong and why my brain was saying, you need to stop, you need to stop, you need to stop. Like, if your brain is telling you, stop, listen to it. Because more than likely you're making a mistake that is going to take, like, probably hours to fix. That happened so many times during October. And that's usually how I put it. Like before I add color or anything, what I'll do is I'll put it down, let myself rest for the night, and then get up the next morning with more like fresher eyes so I can see what the problem is. And if there's a problem, well, I'll be able to notice it immediately. But if you just get to a point where you're constantly getting frustrated, making mistakes over and over again, or just can't figure out why it's bugging you, stop. Stop immediately, rest, like just rest on it. Go go do and even if it's like the middle of the day, go do something. Like take your eyes off of it for about 2 hours. Take your eyes off about for about 2 hours. Then come back to it and you will see exactly what the problem is. And if you can't do it that way, then ask a friend for a second opinion. Ask a friend that can spot that has a good set of eyes for spotting these things. You know, ask them. Like ask them, "Hey, I need your eyes to determine something." Like I've asked my friends to help me with that kind of stuff multiple times. And a second opinion really is sometimes the best thing. Another important thing is to always be ready to take criticism because, yep, you're going to get it. Like, don't get mad if someone says, like, this looks off or whatever. Like, if it's your personal, it's like, if it's a personal thing for you, like a personal, like, art style, you just gotta explain to them, oh, that's part of my art style. That's all you just gotta, that's all you gotta tell them. That's not like denying their, like, opinion. That's just basically saying, oh, that's why this looks like that. You know, like, if you grew up, like, watching, like, Cartoon Network or even Nicktoons or Nickelodeon, you'll see there were art styles that were flipping weird in the cartoons. What's one that I can think of immediately where the proportions were absolutely strange? Uh, Courage the Cowardly Dog had some weird ones. Like the art style was very like chaotic, kind of a little unsettling, which was the point because it was kind of a horror cartoon, like comedic horror. SpongeBob had its moments. The Wild Thornberries is a huge one where I can really nitpick like the proportions and stuff. But again, it's meant to be kind of unnatural because it's cartoony. There's even some anime art styles that are like ones where I'm like, I don't care for that. And one I can think of right off the top of my head, I know people are not going to like this, but I don't care for the art style. And that's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I do not care for the art style. It looks weird to me. It looks unnatural. It looks weird. Like, there's a character that, and I think this is an intention from the person who actually made it. This character looks like a flipping girl. They look like a girl. But apparently, it's a man. And I'm like, okay, whatever. That's your art style. I don't care for it. That's why when I was like requested to draw things like draw the character Jolene, I was like, oh boy, here we go. And Jolene, in my art style, was just a lot more simplified. She looked a lot more feminine, I will say. But the hardest part about her, honestly, was just those goddamn, like, highlights in her hair. Like, two-tone anything for me is really difficult. Mainly because I don't tend to do it very often. Like, two-tone hair or anything like that, nope, that is not my thing. And it's mainly just because I don't want to deal with the layers and all that stuff. So, yeah, it's just a preference. But yeah, that's one art style that I just cannot stand. And that's my opinion. That's just my humble personal opinion. Is there 2 lines in there? I believe. It's hard to see. Like, what's another, like, art style? Oh, the One Piece. The One Piece style. Do not care for it at all. It looks weird. Like, it just looks weird to me. Like, anything that is, like, a little, like, just chaotic really just bugs the shit out of me. I don't know why, but it just does. Probably just because it has an unnatural, like, feeling to it, and that's why it looks, like, unappealing to me. Like, if I'm going to watch something, it needs to be appealing. It needs to be appealing to my eyes. It has to be something like my eyes like. And when I say appealing, I'm not meaning, sexually appealing. I mean, it has to be just appealing in general, like a general sense. Whoops. That's the thing. If it isn't appealing to my eyes, then I just don't like it. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, do not care for that art style at all. I'm not saying the artist sucks. I'm just saying it's personally not my thing. Hence why I've never even like gone near or even thought about watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Whoops. Because I've heard it's an anime that's very strange. Like, it's definitely a lot more on the stranger side. Even in games that I've played, there are designs that I like and don't like. 100% there is things like that. What the hell am I looking at? Okay, I think that's a thing that just didn't get erased. Because what would that be? Have the outline? Yeah. That's got to be just a line I forgot to erase. There's a lot of like games that I've played where there are there's like designs that I do just not care for. And that's just all in the eyes of like the artist. Like there's one person like most recently, Uma Musume. Majiro Ryan, is it Majiro? I think it's Majiro Ryan. Uh this character, her design sucks. I don't like it at all. It it just looks bad. It's not good. The hairstyle they chose was terrible. Like most plain Jane looking character you can imagine. When in like comparison to say, oh god, I don't know if it was Majiro Ryan or if it was. I think Majiro was the purple-haired girl. Sorry, I have not played the game in a while, so I wouldn't know. It's her sister, like her sister, cousin, something like that. It's like a character like that. That's what I'm saying. Okay, I have no idea what is going on here. Strange. But her design is just so dog shit in comparison to say, I can't think of. That's got to be Majiro, uh, the purple-haired girl. Her design is great. Her design looks amazing, and is probably one of the best designs in the game, in my opinion. Another character's design I love is Rice Showers. I love her design. Her design, her personality, exactly what I would want to see. Okay, I do not know what the hell is going on here, but it's bugging the shit out of me. Okay, hang on. But Rice Shower's design, it's gothic, it's cool, it looks amazing. Then you just have the Ryan girl that is flipping terrible. Like, what were they thinking? And honestly, I think she was just kind of a throwaway character. And honestly, you get that with character design because sometimes you just run out of ideas. Okay, let me look at the original just to be absolutely sure this is something. We are on page 18. Oh, I see. Okay, the original, this was part of a hair strand. That's what's going on here. So that outer one was part of a hair strand. That's why it's throwing me off. So the iris of the eye is right here. God, talk about game of my brain. All right. Okay, now we're past that little conniption. But there's a lot of designs I don't like Genshin. Let's go to Genshin. There's a lot of character designs in that one that I don't like either. Uh, what's one that's right off the top of my head that I don't like? I gotta think. There's a lot of characters in that game. Oh, Nefer. Nefer from the new region. God. Fuck. What's it called? I can't think of what it's called. Yeah, the new area. I can't think of what it's called. But basically, Nefer's design to me, okay, I know there's an audience for it, and it's a certain type of character that, Hoyoverse is following to, appeal. Personally, not my thing. Not my thing at all. I don't care for like motherly characters. That is definitely not my thing when I like think of like a character design that I like or a character trope that I like. That's not my thing. And I know that's exactly what she's supposed to be. So, not not my thing. I don't care for her design. Never have ever since I even saw her. Like the designs I like are the ones that are appealing and kind of relate to me the most. Like I like Kale's design. Kale's design is great. My my girl from Genshin, Ganyu, love her flippin' design, and it matches her perfectly. She's supposed to be a hard-working lady who overworks herself to death and basically is shy and very antisocial. Her design sells it perfectly. You can see the shyness. You can see you can see those aspects of her character in it. There's no doubt about that. Then there's characters like, whoa, what the flip? Well, that's not a character design. But then there's characters that just don't make sense. Like what's one that's a train wreck that I'm not thinking of right off the top of my head? Um, like what is an absolute train? Oh, Mawika. I know this has been talked about a lot, but yep, I have to agree. Her character design does not match the theme of Natlin at all. Natlin, yeah, we're just gonna not even talk about that. But Malvika was straight up designed as eye candy. She was not designed to match her region, unlike Nahida, unlike Raiden Shogun, who look like they're from like their respective nations. Even Venti looks like he's from his nation. Then there's Mawika, who looks like she's from like America. She's from America, and she hangs with a biker gang and causes trouble. Like, that's literally the vibes I get from her. Like, it just is like, what were they thinking? Like, I get what they were. I know exactly what they were thinking. Eye candy. Oh, we need a character to sell. Well, let's put her in some spandex and let's put a motorcycle behind her, without even thinking for a second about like where she's from. Malvika should have looked like Augusta from Wuthering Waves. That's what her design should have looked like. She should have been rural. She should have been, a lot more hard headed. She should have been, better. Like, I don't understand what they were thinking. Like, I get what they were thinking, Gooner bait and shit like that. But it's, you should stick to your roots as well. Like, keep them in the place they're supposed to be. And Malvika was definitely not in that sense. And that's disappointing because I can see her as like an African like style um like warrior like kind of style. Like, I could see that and it would look amazing. But no, we have to go with biker girl who wears spandex leather. That is terrible to fight in, by the way. Yeah. So I'm so glad that they went back to their roots for. Why can I not remember the name of this fucking place? The new place. I can't think of what it's called. The Moon Place. But yeah, the new place definitely a lot more better in my opinion. Definitely way more better because it actually sticks to its roots. It feels a lot more like Genshin should, and it actually like talks about things that are what we want to talk about in the game, like the trailblazer, no, like the traveler and their sibling and all that stuff, like the their like lore and all that. Like, this place does it correct. Natlan was a mess. And I didn't like a lot of the Natlan designs either. Like the Kunich guy, he looked terrible. I'm sorry, he looked terrible. The best design of Natlan, I think that's a tie between Surfer Girl. What's her name? See, that's how much I care about Natlan. I don't even remember their names. Uh, God, I can any other day it would be fine, but no, I can't remember. Uh, Mualani, that's her name. That's her name. Mualani looks great. She is definitely a great design. Jalonen was a good design as well. Uh, not Katrina. No, 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 no. Kachina was whatever. She was a cutesy wootsy character. And what I see get like a lot of attention is the granny character. Fuck, what's her name? Sit Lolly. And honestly, I don't see it. She's funny, she's cool, but personally, not my favorite design. I mean, if I had to give the reward for the best design, it'd probably go to Mualani. But yeah, Natlan just was not a good thing. It felt like a mess. It felt like the writers were struggling a little bit. Like, there was some rushed writing and all that stuff going on. Like, they were trying their hardest. Like like the writers for Fontaine and Natlan were like they were having a bet or something like that, and they were trying to outdo one another, and well, Fontaine completely landslided them. Um, like, that's what it feels like. Like, they were trying to compete, but Natlan fell flat on its ass. But yeah, that's just my personal opinion. I did play Natlan to the end, and Wait, no, I didn't. I yeah, I didn't even bother playing that one. I wanted to get to this new fucking place I can't remember the name of. Uh, fudge. I can't remember it. It's the moon place. It's the new place, and I cannot remember the name of it for God's sakes. It's got a weird name. I know that for a fact. But this feels a lot more like what Genshin should be. It feels a lot like what, we've wanted. While Natlan just felt like whatever. Forgettable, stupid, not loyal to its source material at all. That's what it felt like. And that's sad because I really feel like Natlan had a lot of like potential. It did. It had a crap ton of potential to be good. And had they done it right, maybe Natlan could have beaten Fontaine. But as is, it sucks. And I see people make like all these like counter arguments and shit. Oh, you don't understand what I'm like, I don't care, bro. That's my opinion, so I don't give a flying fuck what you think. Take it or leave it. That's what I say. Like they're basically saying, you didn't understand what it meant, things like that. Like you don't understand what they were trying to really tell you. I'm like, if you don't get me within like the first 5 fucking minutes of like something, I'm gone. That is literally me. It can be a movie, it can be a book. If some form of media doesn't catch my attention and keep my attention within the first 5 minutes, yep, you're doomed. You're basically, you don't got my attention and I'm bored. But that's personally just me. I'm someone who needs to be caught immediately. You need to put the fish hook in the water, and you have to hook me instantly. Otherwise, I'm just not gonna like it. And that's how it was for Natlan. Natlan was slow, the pacing was terrible, and yeah, there was just way too many problems with it. Just way, way, way too many problems. A perfect example of a great region, Renacida from Wuthering Waves. This region, my god, it is the best shit I have played in a video game in a like long ass time. The last like video game that I played with this kind of quality, with that kind of quality, was Fire Emblem Awakening on my 3DS. And yes, I've replayed that game like a gazillion times. That's how much I liked it. Is the plot very predictable and very, very like, like it's been done a gazillion times over? Yes. But the gameplay, the character designs, and the story itself were fantastic. There's tragedy, there's dark moments, there's light moments. It's all there. Everything that I want out of like a good experience playing a video game or something like that, it was there. And that's why I love Fire Emblem Awakening. It's one of the best games I've ever played. And to get that experience again from a gacha game is amazing to me. Because gacha games are like usually just meant to sell characters and like ooh la la, big, big chested women, blah 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 blah, pony, yay, woohoo, stuff like that. But Renacida was amazing. It was the best shit I'd ever played in Wuthering Waves. And people like, okay, I won't lie. 1.0 in Wuthering Waves was like boring. It was. It was boring. The voice acting was whatever. It was something. Like, I don't know what the hell they were thinking with some lines. But this is a perfect example of a company recognizing, they fucked up and they fixed it. Like they why is this line being a bitch? They beyond fixed it. I was so excited for every patch of Wuthering Waves Renacida arc, and when it ended, I was so sad. I didn't want Renacida to end. That's how much I love this place. And keep in mind, the final quest, the finale, is like 7 hours long. If you play it in one setting, it is 1 hour, or no, it is 7 hours long. So, for me to be able to sit there for 7 hours and not get bored once, not feel like, oh, I need to put this down for, something. You know, I didn't get that feeling once. Not even once. And that is impressive because my attention span isn't terrible, but yeah, usually Wuthering Waves has like moments where it's like just boring. Like there's points in like quests where it's just straight up like, a bore fest. Really the character like quest implements shit. And for a quest to be so good that I don't even want to put down my like phone to charge, that shows how much they improved. Not to mention that final quest was god peak amazing. Every character got their spotlight. Even ones that we didn't even know like would be in the quest got the spotlight. And the writing was perfect, the pacing was perfect. It was so flipping good. And that just shows you they listen, they understand that, they screwed up with 1.0. So they went back and they basically said, "Okay, guys, we need to do this right this time." And 2.0 honestly did feel like a mini launch, a mini relaunch of the game. Like I love Wuthering Waves, but yeah, I can't even lie that the beginning of it was bad. Because here's the thing, I'm a story guy. I play games for stories and character designs. That's mainly why I play games. And if the story doesn't catch me and keep my attention and it isn't somewhat, unique and doing its own thing, like if it's just straight up a game where it's basically a waifu collector and basically you're born into this world with your memories, forgotten, blah 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 blah, a common isekai, then yeah, you don't got my attention anymore. It's boring. Like there was one that I played that was so bad. God, what was it called? Something to do with angels, like angel goddess something that was like one of those like horrible gotcha games. And the story was literally you just pull these characters and seduce them. That is literally what it was about. And one thing I've learned is that games cannot survive off of just aesthetics. They have to go outside that box. They have to make a good story, good characters. It can't just be like a waifu collector with like characters with like attractive features and stuff. Nope, you need to keep the viewer's attention by going a little more further than that. And Renacida did every bit of that. Like, yes, Cantarella was 100% Goonerbait. 100%. But the way they twisted, the way they, like, made her into. She was supposed to be the Holy Maiden. But she basically said, nah, bruh, I'm gonna take. I'm gonna take that, give it, and give you back your power so that you can delay the Leviathan's corruption or something like that. I can't remember exactly. That just blows my mind. Like, it blew my mind. I'm like, whoa, I was not expecting that twist. And that just shows you great writing can make great stories. And Kuro is definitely doing that. Now, in the case of another story game that I play, HSR, Yeah, the game started great. Now, I won't lie, the end of M4s was great. It was. It was fantastic. But HSR started out so simple, like so simplified. Like the quests only took maybe what at a maximum of like 2 hours. Belobog, it was amazing. The Ziangelafu was meh. Then came along Penacony, and the quest got longer and longer and longer and longer and longer. And then we get to Amphorius, and it just becomes a joke. The bosses are way too flippin' hard, unless you have the next big thing, literally. And that's literally how the endgame goes. If you don't have the newest characters, well, fuck you, you're done. And yeah, that's pretty sad that it's come to that. Like the end of Amphorius was fantastic. I will not lie. That was definitely a huge upgrade from whatever the flip the beginning of Amphorius was. There were points where my brain was just like, what's going on? Like straight up, my brain was just like, what the flip are we doing here? Like I just want to kill the boss, please. Let's move on. And that's legit what HSR feels like. It feels like a drag. And I'm not the only person who has said this. The story drags on for far longer than it needs to. And that's because of the writers just thinking they need to be philosophical in every flipping sentence. Bro, I didn't climb to the top of a mountain to talk to a monk. I came here to play a goddamn game. Let me move on and kill the damn boss so I can move on with my life. Give me a decent story in a little amount of time and respect my time while doing it. And yeah, HSR is just detrimental at that. It's a good game, but it's also got its problems. And do I think they're ever going to like do the? Do I ever think they're going to change the story length from like 9 hours to like 5? No, because if you've ever played Genshin Impact, you'll know the devs don't listen to shit. The devs don't listen to anything you say unless you're on the Chinese server. That's it. Long story short. So I don't expect the story lengths to ever change. I'm just gonna have to like power through it as much as I possibly can and take breaks in between. But Kuro, like Wuthering Waves, it respects my time by making these quests a decent amount of time, and the quests are actually like enjoyable. You can play them and feel like you're in it. And another huge aspect that plays into that makes it a great that makes the stories so good and fluent is the term show don't tell. HSR is terrible at this. Terrible. HSR is absolutely detrimental at being good at showing and not telling. But nope, we have to hear philosophical sentences every flipping paragraph. Like the final quests, God, what was his name? The robot dude. He talked so flipping slow, so slow, and he would talk for forever. He would make every freaking sentence a metaphor to something, and I'm just sitting there going, skip. Like there was points where I had to skip this son of a bitch because he was boring the fuck out of me. I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. We all know how this is going to end. I'm going to kick your ass. So let's move the flip on already and get to where I kick your ass and send you to the Nether Realms. Bye. Lygus, that was his name. Lygus. But yeah, when I'm having to basically tell the game, would you freaking hurry the hell up and get to the point? Yeah, that's not good. That's not good for the players. That's not good for the longevity of the game. But it's Hoyoverse. We all know they make millions upon millions of dollars off of their baby, Genshin Impact. So, nothing's ever going to change. Have they made some changes that are good? Oh, yeah. They've definitely made changes that are good. Like the auto farm feature. Good God, that is a godsend because having to not go around and having to manually fight the bosses and shit like that just so I can build a character, yeah, that is definitely a huge upgrade. Like they've done some things that have made the game better, but at the same time, they haven't addressed like the big issues. And that is the whole show don't tell part of it. And the only thing that made the end to Emphorius like digestible was 110%. Oh god, what's her name? Shit. Hang on, I gotta think of her goddamn name. Her name's Elysia in Honkai Impact Third, but in Honkai Star Rail, her name's different. Starts with a C. Serini. Serini. That character saved Amphorius. Hands down, saved Amphorius, and Hoyoverse knew exactly what they were doing. Because what is the most beloved character from Honkai Impact Third? Cyrene. Or, excuse me, Elysia. And what character does Cyrene represent? Elysia. And they did a great job like matching the story for like what it is in like Honkai Impact Third and converting it into Honkai Star Rail without directly copying. They did a great job there. And I if you've played Honkai Impact Third, you know exactly what was going to happen to Cyrene. Definitely. And I wasn't surprised when she went. I knew it was going to happen. I'm like, you ain't getting me a second time, Hoyoverse. You ain't getting me a second time. Nice try. But that also makes me curious. Like in like later regions, could we see Kiana? Because now we know that Kevin exists, which was God, what was his fucking name? Finon. Finon was basically Kevin Keslana, and that was his corrupted version's name, Keslana, who is Kiana's father. So it makes me wonder if we could see Kiana at some point in the series, or in the series, excuse me, in the game. And I do think we eventually will because it makes sense. And fan service, of course. Not fan service in like a, sex sells kind of way, but more in a sense of like, this character is beloved and we haven't seen her in a long time, so let's bring her into this universe and give her her own story. But my god, please, Hoyoverse, for the love of God, please just make the quest a lot more simplified. We don't have to hear philosophical nonsense every 5 seconds. I guess you could say this is kind of a rant. But yeah, I think a lot of people understand my complaints and understanding of why they need to fix this fucking problem because it is freaking a detrimental problem that's just distracting. Oh, shit. And don't even get me started on how many problems there are with Genshin. Still, there are so many, and I've done the player survey several times. Address these issues. Have they ever touched them? Nope. The same exact issues that uh the same issues that every player has asked for to be fixed or at least changed. Like the thing with the freaking time-gated goddamn domains that basically stops you from building your characters faster. Seriously, get rid of that. It's 2025. Move on. Get rid of that shit. Get rid of it. Because nobody likes it anymore. Make the freaking boss materials actually a lot more easier to get, for God's sake. My God. They are so bad. Like, the ratios are terrible. And you need those to build your character skills up. So that's why it's a problem. What would this be? Hmm. Oh, hang on. Is that part of her ear? Maybe it's part of her ear. But yeah, that's why I consider like Wuthering Waves my favorite gotcha game because it is easily my favorite and still is. It has devs that listen to you and work to improve every single patch. And they give you great content, even though there has been some patches where it's been dry and all that. But one thing that the game managed to do, Wuthering Waves, one thing that Wuthering Waves managed to do that really surprised me because it's detrimental in any other game that I've played is fishing. They made a whole event that revolved around fishing. But here's the thing, they made fishing fun. They made the mechanics fun. Like, they somehow made it to where fishing was not just like a drag. It didn't feel like you were just doing it to get it done and over with. No, it was actually fun. The way they designed it was great. They designed it in a way where it was so much fun, and yeah, one of the more funner events, in my opinion, of Renacida. Easily. It did get kind of draggy towards the end, but at the same time, it didn't feel like, I was just doing this to get free astrites. No, it actually felt like, it was fun. It felt fun. It felt easy. It felt, like I'm not wasting my time. Even though there was one point where it got to, I had to get a certain fish and the game kept screwing me over left and right because it wouldn't give me the right freaking fish. Because it had these things called mutated fish, and the kind that I had to get was not wanting to come up onto the hook. So yeah, that was a little bit annoying, but that's just RNG. So I'm praying to God that Wuba or the Wuthering Waves devs, writers, bring the same exact like feeling and vision that they had with Renacida to Lahairoi. Because I am so excited to go here. Like, so many people like complained about the the quest for this patch being boring. I'm like, I didn't think it was boring. It felt like filler for sure, but it was a setup quest. It's a setup. It sets up Lahairoi and Chiza as a main character in that arc. That's all it is. It's a setup quest. So it sets up basically the entire like basis for the next story in Lahairoi. And in my opinion, I think they did a great job. They kept it subtle, and the ending to it was great. There was funny points, like the freaking cardboard cutout of Chiza was fucking just sending me. Like, I was laughing so hard at that because it's a self-insert. It looks like we're at an anime convention and we're at a freaking Wuthering Waves like booth. It's so funny. I love like that's another thing. I love the dev's sense of humor. It's so good. Like they know exactly what they are doing when they do these things. But they're doing it to give the players a good laugh, and it works. Because there is some jokes that they have put into the game that are just freaking hilarious. Okay, that looks like a folder or something. But the devs, they are not self-aware. They are very self-aware of their own game. Like they've name dropped Wuthering Waves in the game so many times. Like I remember there was one part in the Renacida arc. I think it was when you arrive in Septimont and you meet Lupa. The one of the teams you can put for your team with Lupa was Wuthering Waves, and I find that fucking hilarious because it's literally the game devs breaking the fourth wall. They're having fun, and I like that. I like to see that the devs are getting a good laugh out of it while giving the players a good laugh as well. Because what's the fun in making something if you're not having fun? If you're not having fun, then it's just a chore. But yeah, that's why Wuthering Waves is my favorite game, because it's got a great team behind it. It's a great game, and it's a great, like, the game has only gotten better ever since its launch, which, like I said, the 1.0 stuff, rough. It was rough. Personally, I didn't have to deal with any of like the big bugs that were going on with like the optimization and all that stuff. My friend had to. He on day 2 was having problems with the European server, and yeah, I mean, no place is going to be perfect on launch. There's always going to be bugs. Whoops. There's always going to be your bugs. They don't get everything at maintenance. They can try, but yeah, it never happens. It's like a game that I play right now. It just had its update, and when I logged in, oh my god, bugs galore like crazy. And it's Chaos Zero Nightmare, by the way. And this bug was so bad that I couldn't even collect the stuff from the events. That's how bad it was. I'm like, well, I'm gonna give this game a day or so to get its shit together. Like, that's literally what I did. I just put it down and said, I'm just gonna give it a day. Let the devs work out whatever the fuck is going on. It's a fun game too, but it definitely does have its pacing issues. Like, it's very flippin' slow in terms of like the leveling up process. Not to mention you can't auto battle in like the game's like main mode where you have to do it in order to build your characters. Very flippin' slow there. Like, I've been stuck in the gap from captain level like 40 to 50 for like 3 weeks now. And I log in every single day and do my dailies. So it feels dreadfully slow. But it's a fun game. Like, it's a fun game. It's got good aesthetics. It's got fun gameplay. But yeah, it's definitely got its problems. And they need to fix it. Because you don't really want the game to drag for too long because of like new player experience. Like, that's just like a nail in the coffin for your game if you delay the players for too long. And that's what it feels like right now. It just feels very flippant slow. But yeah, the chaos, I really feel like they should be able to. I really feel like you should be able to just auto run it. If you've beat it, okay. If you've beat it once, you should be able to auto run it. And I do think they will eventually add something like that. Like, I'm sure that's a problem with a lot of players. But they need to add that. They need to make it so that you can just auto run. Like, just auto run it if you beat it once. That's the requirement. If you've beaten it once, you can auto run the chaos. Because chaos is where you get your gear, that's where you get your characters, like, a lot more stronger. So it's one of the main mechanics of the game that is time consuming. It takes forever. And manually battling it is really time consuming. So, yep, I think they just need to fix that, and I think that the game is really going to do well. It's already doing well, but I feel like that's a huge thing they need to fix. They need to make it so that that is just easy cake. Like you can just auto farm it, no problemo. Which, in my opinion, that should be a thing in every game. Like every single game should just have auto farm feature immediately right off launch. Why the games don't do that, I don't fucking know. Then again, I'm not a game developer, so who knows? Maybe they know something I don't. Anywho, I think we are almost done with this panel. We're getting there. It's a little bit surely. Oh. This one was a little more trickier because of the line thickness. I had to thicken the line. The lines are thicker because I had to make her a little bit more bigger than she is in the original piece. Okay, hopefully that eye doesn't look too wonky when I do this. Well, let's turn it off and see what happens. Okay, wrong one. There we go. Okay, now turn that one on. Nope, she looks fine. Okay, I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything, and I don't think I did. Is there a seat there? Anything? Not that I can see. All right, there's text here, isn't there? Okay. I think it's text time, guys. I think it's time for the text. All right. Let's see. So for her, whoops. Okay, I need the right colors. Text needs to be white. Outside needs to be black. Okay. So I remember what she says. She basically goes, ugh. Like a sigh or a grunt. Like grunt. So the text font needs to be different here. Grunt. Silly lizard. If I can spell. Silly lizard. What is out? The enemy of fire. Water. That might just work as on its own. Yeah, I think I can live with that. All right, let's. Oh God, what number are we on? We are on. I don't know. I think we are on. If I had to take a guess, 114 or something like that. Revised. We are on 114. Okay, wasn't too far off. Okay, 114. 1, 4. Okay. On to the next one. Okay, so this would be Brina. So we're going to use Brina's text here. That'd be Brizzle. Right. Okay. Didn't she say something like, thank you so much, or something like that, if I remember correct? Not those ones, not those ones. Page 18. Anywho, thank you so much. Okay, so it's a name drop. Anywho, thank you so much. If I can spell. Okay. Yep. Sorry, guys. I think that looks a little too cluttered. So let's bring much down. Move that over just a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna add the number, and then I'm gonna go bring garbage in. 115. Please. Probably a little bit bigger than that. There we go. Alright, guys, I'll be right back. I gotta go bring the garbage in. Okay. I am back. Save me a fire. Thank you so much. Okay, name drop. Alright, next panel. Okay, text layer. Get the right font. Which is the Indie flower. A queen. No. And sure, we can be friends. Why can't we be friends? Sorry. We can be Queen, and sure, we can be friends. Did you say silly lizard? And sure, we can be friends, silly lizard. Yep. Okay. Size needs to go down. Okay, add a speech bubble. Okay. turn it this way. Bring that down a lot. Let's see if this might work. You can still see that Y. Maybe that's better on the other side. Let's try that. Yeah, I like that better. Okay, right here. Okay, I want a second speech bubble. And it needs to be one like this. Let's just try something like this. No, 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 no. Okay. Nope, Texler. In fact, let's see if that fits. In fact, drop that dot dot dot. That'll work. Okay, another Texler. Hello, Faith Kate. How are you doing? Facts. Let's all be besties. Come on. See if we can increase the size just a little bit. That might work. Am I doing a comic? Yes. Or manga. If I don't know the difference. Don't ask me. Okay, 116. Come on, bitch. Thank you. Oh, for fuck's sake. About right there. Sailors was the enemy of fire. Right. Anyway, thank you so much. Queen, I'm sure we can be friends. In fact, let's all be besties. Okay. What I need to do now is I need to figure. Is that it? Yep. I need to get rid of this little tail. Nothing too difficult. Just very careful ease. Okay, lots of text incoming. Probably going to have to simplify this down just a little bit. All right. Let's get a speech bubble. I appreciate that. Thank you. Let's see. Probably this one. Let's see if we can. Okay. Yep, we're just gonna have to make the text a little smaller. Okay, that's fine then. Ew. Stop. Okay, I need to go up above that. I need to go text. Okay. Simplify this. By the way, dragon. Okay, let's lower that size quite a bit. By the way, dragon. Go to the nearest monster market dragon, go to the nearest monster market after you get off. Maybe something more like that. Okay, let's try and lower that text. Hopefully that's readable. Yeah, that's readable. Okay, now I need a second speech bubble, so I'm just going to copy paste it. Oh, gotta get the tail too. Huh? I don't know where. Yes, I am. Copy, paste. Zoom out a little bit. Okay, let's see if I can do just that. Okay, that works. Drop that. Something like this. Text layer. Get a medication called drag assist. Get a medication called drag assist in a blue box. Countering. Not centering. Countering those spurts. Okay, bring that down just a little bit. Get a medication called drag assist in a blue box. It'll help to start countering those spurts. Okay. Another speech bubble. And that's this. Yep. Whoops. Copy. Paste. Now I should be able to flip that like that again. Okay. That needs to be flipped. There we go. There we go. Ow. Why can't I? Oh. It'll be $7 off the shelf. The rest should be taken care of by the store staff. It'll be $7 off the shelf. The rest should be taken care of by the store staff. Let's increase the size a little bit. Okay, just paste. Okay, now I should just be able to flip that. Yep, that'll work. See you two dorks tomorrow. Something like that. Okay, now I need a number. It's 117. Okay, where do I put that? Probably right here. Size a little bit. Just so it's readable. Okay. And then this is just a text layer as the panel. So close that real quick. I'll just go something like that. Shouldn't be too difficult for me to remember. Okay, now I need Brina's, which is the bristle. Returned. My God. Then Aquina returned to her seat. Fucking hell. As if nothing had even happened. Feel like the best way to do that. text. Whoops. Let me try this. Nothing had even. Just gonna kind of tell us all about. I think it was fine before. As if nothing had even happened. Okay, now a number. Okay, what was the text here? Okay, let me see here. Please and thank you. Had even happened, dot, dot, dot. Leaving Layla and I completely dumbfounded? Dumbfounded on what had just happened. Okay, so what I'm gonna have to do here is toy around with the text a little bit. Or, hold on a second. Or, I could technically put that here. Like, just move this into here. Let's see. So, dumbfounded is a little big. Oh, this is gonna be tricky as shit. Had just happened. I have to just lower the size of that. Okay. Okay. Then a queen and returned to her city as if nothing had happened, leaving Layla and I completely dumbfounded on what just happened. Come on. It's hard to tell right now, but had just happened. Layla and I completely. Hang on a second. This is all just about sorting. Okay, let's try moving I down and completely up. Completely dumbfounded on what had just happened. Something like that might work. Okay. Something needs to be here. So let me see about getting out of this. I need to be like this. No, not to there, not to there. I need a square. Is it this one? Where is the turning thing? There it is. And yes, I know I'm obscuring stuff, but not really much I can do. Okay. What? Yada. Okay. So, I actually need to go back a thing. Is it this? No. 160. Is it this? Oh, text. I need to be on a text alert. There it is. I think. It's not coming up. That's weird. 14, 15, 16. Okay, it's gotta be on the next one then. Is it behind that? Okay, I swear to God. Is there two there? Okay, I've got to figure out what layer this is on. Okay, it's not that one, which makes sense. Oh, is it this one? There's two text layers. No. Ah, there it is, there it is, there it is. Okay, now I can move this into place. It's just gonna have to be something like that. Okay. Back to this. The queen returned to her state as if nothing even happened. Okay. Then this bottom one. I just don't want to make it too small. Why is it so much words? Why is it so much words? Why am I so wordy? Let me see. How low can I go before that becomes unreadable? Okay. This approach might work. Now I just gotta get the stuff correct. Dumbfounded on what had just happened. Okay, that might work. Okay, so what I need to do is move this down, because I don't like where it's positioned. In that case, I can move 117 back down. Okay, but now that this is in the right spot, now we can do this a lot more efficiently. That, like that. Something along those lines. Let's go here. Now I just gotta kind of make it a little bit more realistic, I guess. Okay, brush needs to be bigger than that. That work? Yep, that'll work. Okay, now on to 119. Which was this one. Okay. All I did know was that they're okay. So we need a text. Regardless of the bizarre antics, is that how you spell it? Yeah. Antics prior, the result of it was a new friend from the deep sea. Actually, no, be like that. Whee! You'd enjoy having a friend. Okay, so that probably needs to be a little bit bigger. Just can't let it obscure her too much. That'll work. Okay, now we need 119. Whoops, a doodle. And that fits, and that fills that spot so that it looks a little bit more like presentable. Okay, now let me just read this over. Sea lizard was the enemy of fire. Right. Anywho, thanks so much, Aquina, and sure, we can be friends, silly lizard. In fact, let's all be besties. By the way, Dragon, go to the nearest monster market after you get off. Get a medication called Dragosis in the blue box. It'll help you to start countering those spurts. It'll be $7 off the shelf. The rest should be taken care of by the store staff. See you tomorrow, you dorks. See you two dorks tomorrow. Then Aquina returned to her. She as if nothing even happened. leaving Layla and I completely dumbfounded what just happened. Regardless of the bizarre antics prior, the result of it was a new friend from the deep sea. Hey, I like it. I like it. Right. But we still need to put one more line of text. So I need the right text type. Got one. Whoa, 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 whoa. Episode 1. Keep your friends close. Page, we're on 18, I believe. Oh, I need to... something along those lines. That's pretty close. Okay. It's so weird that I can read this a little better with my glasses off. Probably because my glasses are fucking filthy. Alright. Oh yeah, I can definitely read that way better with my glasses off. 10 times better. Alright, I think she's done. For today. Excuse me. So anyways, I think that's it for today. So I don't know how it's gonna... oh wait, there's one more thing that I need to fix, but that's an easy fix. I need to go to here, not that. Text. Move that down. Turn that just a little bit. Let's make that just a tiny bit larger. That's what she said. Shut up. Anyways, I think that's it. I like this page. I like how it looks. Looks pretty presentable. Sorry. So yeah, I don't know if I'll get back to this tomorrow. Well, on stream I would. Like, I'll get back to it tomorrow, but I don't know if I'm gonna stream it. But yeah, like I said, go see the poll on my channel and give your vote on whether you want black and white like manga style or if you would like it fully colored. And like I said, one takes longer than the other one. Like, a fully colored version will take easily a little longer, while a black and white like manga style would only take like very little time because it's not as much work. It's still work regardless, but yep, it's always work, isn't it? Anyways, guys, I think that's all I'm gonna do for today. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully y'all have a great day, and yep, until next time, I will see you all next time.